What's up, guys? Gaonan here, and welcome to our second episode of Drafting with Masters. Today, I'm going to be drafting with Paradox from Team Seek Power Gaming. You can find information about Paradox below in the description of the video, and you can also find where he creates content as well as his Twitch channel. Also, if you've missed any previous episodes, you can check out the Season 4 playlist in the top right corner of this video. If you aren't subscribed to the channel yet, I would greatly appreciate your support in doing so. And without further ado, let's get into our second Drafting with Masters.
Hello and welcome to Drafting with Masters. My name is Paradox, also known as Brandon in the real world, and I am the fellow draft master today here on Drafting with Masters. I'm joined here with Gaonan, and we're going to be doing a draft together.
Yes, thank you for having me, Paradox. I really appreciate it. I wanted to draft with you because I think you are great about having an open mind about card evaluation and picking cards. And I also saw you were in top 100 last month for draft as well. So I figured why not team up with somebody who's willing to have some good discussion around the cards. I always love coming to your stream and picking your brain, throwing out ideas, and you saying, yeah, that might work, or that's usually what you say. You really don't say anything else. So.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I think it should be pretty good. I do love draft, and I do place pretty consistently when I do draft consistently for a season. There are definitely months where I'm not as concerned about it. But yeah, it's great. This format is very fun. I really like it. I think it's very deep, and I think we'll have a lot of cool things to talk about here. Let's go ahead and jump in. And I should say thank you for having me. I mean, this is my stream, but the people seeing this are mostly going to be seeing the video, I imagine. So on your YouTube account. But
yeah. It still wouldn't happen without you, so I'm glad to have you.
Thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and get right into this. Pack one, pick one. I don't know if Cargo is quite first pickable. I don't think I've ever first picked a Cargo, but it's not bad. The Deadeye is interesting. I've actually never played it, now that I think about it, which maybe tells me that it's not actually all that good, because it seems really strong when it hits the field, but I feel like the Recano decks that are using Renown and stuff like that usually don't want to be playing 6-cost units.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the value in the card is mostly in the pledge piece of it.
Yeah, it's definitely a strong pledge.
I feel like you're probably not going to have that 4-cost spell or weapon to play on this guy to get like the full renown value out of him. And so you're probably getting, like if you're playing him as a unit, 6-cost 5/5, below rate, then you spend another card playing a weapon on it. This format is kind of removal light, so it could just win the game that way by just being bigger than everything else on the board. I think I've had it once in Forge or something like that. I wasn't blown away by the card, but it does have Pledge on it, which I think makes it pretty decent.
Yeah, I would agree. The Pledge is good. But the real cards that stick out to me as the most powerful here, other than, the Deadeye definitely seems fine, but it doesn't quite strike me as a first pick, at least compared to some of these other cards.
Right.
Oni Forge Master is just really good.
Yep.
I think it is probably the best 2-drop in the format. That isn't a stranger.
Right.
Bannerman is a close second, and that doesn't commit us to anything, and will be played in any deck we play.
Right.
But in terms of raw power level, if it wasn't just for the Forge Master, I actually think that Kosul Beastmaster is just bananas. But it does require us to commit to a 3-faction thing very early, which I don't think is particularly great for a first pick. Yep. So I would lean towards the Forge Master or the Bannerman.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think I probably just lean towards the Forge Master. I'm pretty biased towards being base Skycrag because I think being in Ixton, which is the Renown, Fire Justice Primal faction is good, or Genev, where you've got Fire Time Primal. I think those are like the two strongest, and kind of the other stuff kind of falls underneath it. So I think if you can be base Skycrag, you're probably setting yourself up for a good start at the very least. So, yeah, I don't love picking Beastmaster first because who knows if you actually end up there. Even though I agree, the card, it just makes a huge overwhelm, dude. And then you get a flyer on top of that. Like, who doesn't like that? So,
Yeah, that's good.
but I think I'm going to go with Forge Master.
Go for it.
All right.
Blistering Claws. I've never played them, and I
Yeah.
don't think I will play them. That's one where I kind of got to draw the line a little bit, but I could see it in the right deck.
Right.
It'd probably be in a deck where you're already doing really well with, like, because you'd have to have like 2 or 3 Karandon Stewards to have it be really good. And at that rate, you're just really happy that you have that many Karandon
Right.
Stewards.
You're in like a weird Aurelian deck where
Yeah.
you've got like a bunch of deadly dudes, and then you're playing like Dragon Breath and Ice Bows and just doing all silly shenanigans with deadly stuff.
It's a deck I'd like to draft, but it's not one I would jump into.
Right.
But out of the cards we have here, and we're still very open, right? We have no idea where we're going to be.
Yep.
Well, actually, that's a good question because some people like to force very early, and in some formats that is often considered a viable strategy, whereas in other formats people think that you are best off being open. I'm a pretty big believer in that most formats you're better off staying at least a little bit open for the first few picks, but just when you dedicate to something changes, like whether you're committing on pick 3 or 4 or pick 8 or 10.
Right.
I would personally say that this is more like a pick somewhere, probably like 6 is when you really got to start seeing the clear signals and get ready to dedicate, or earlier in this format, because it is synergy heavy, and so you want to really get as many picks as you can to have a nice powerful deck, unless you're just lucky and just get like the insane Skycrag aggro or Rakano aggro extend stuff. Right. Do you have any thoughts on when to commit and when to force, if to ever?
I try not to force, but I think lately I've definitely kind of been forcing into either Genev or Ixten. So I guess I lean towards forcing in that direction, but I think in this format you're pretty well set on where you're going to be after your first pack, because the 3 faction cards that you get are basically going to determine where you go.
Yeah.
Like, pray to God that the algorithm works and your packs 2 and 3 aren't just terrible for the colors that you got in the first ones, because if that happens, then you're really in trouble. But yeah, I feel like you're pretty much set after the first pack, and usually I don't like to read the signals too much until pick 5, basically, after the first 4 cards are taken, because, some people just rare draft and take whatever's going to get them the most shift zone and stuff like that. So I tend to just take most powerful cards in the beginning, and then by pick 5, I'm basically saying, okay, this is where I think I'm at. This is probably my splash color with where I'm at right now. That could change, but at the very least, I know I'm probably in these 3 colors or something like that.
Yep, I'd say that's about right. Definitely committing before pack 2 for sure, because that's just, that's a recipe for disaster otherwise. Okay, so for me in this pack, I like Power Breach Sentinel, also known as Beach Boy.
That's a great name.
Yeah, it is a great name. Gate Guardian is actually not terrible. It's a little expensive, but it will finish the game. Bear Arms strikes me as like the most blatantly strong card in the pack.
Right.
Bannerman, obviously, once again, a great pick. And then Dune Painter is good, but not this early. I think you have to really already be pretty heavy on a lot of amplify effects before you pick Dune Painter.
Have you played Dune Painter?
I have, and it's very good when you have the deck for it. Like,
I guess if you have like a bunch of Mighty Strikes, that thing would be bonkers.
Well, let me tell you, Dune Painter and Clutch of Talons are really best friends. That was a 7-win draft, I'll tell you that much.
Oh my gosh, that sounds
it worked out pretty well. But yeah, I'm leaning towards, again, because we're very open, Bear Arms, Power Breach Sentinel, or Bannerman. I think those are the safest picks here. But
right. I think if you pick Gate Guardian, you're like kind of committing to Ixten. I love Beach Boy. I think he's great. I haven't got to play with Bear Arms yet, so I kind of want to take it because it obviously works with Forge Master, and I think it's probably a pretty strong card. So I think I'm going to take that here.
I agree. Take the powerful stuff first. So let's go with the Bear Arms. Another Bear Arms. Great Valley Smuggler is actually pretty good. Merchants are very strong, as always. And it's also interesting seeing that and like just looking at the cards in the rest of the pack. It's still not too early to say because we didn't see a ton. But I'm betting that both Primal and Time are open right now. Wind Cloak is actually pretty decent. Like it's slow and it's clunky, but it wins you the game. The Great Valley Smuggler obviously good, and if somebody is passing a merchant like 2 times in a row, I would actually probably first pick Great Valley Smuggler because I a 2-faction merchant is so strong, especially one that's pretty easily a 4/4 in that faction combination.
Right.
That actually is a very big signal to me and makes me worried to commit too much harder to other things. But
yeah. No,
I don't know.
I think I agree. I mean, I would probably just windmill slam the smugglers most of the time. And the fact that it's here, I haven't got to play with Wind Cloak. I've thought about it a couple of times. And nothing else is like super exciting in here. Like Bear Arms is good.
Another Bear
Obviously,
Arms
we took it, but
it's fine. But
I think this card is more powerful, and maybe it's like a good signal for us to say, okay, Legion's open. Like, figure out.
I say we jump
where
into
you're
it.
going from there.
Yep, that and the Beach Boy being passed to us. I think we just jump right into it.
Ooh.
Okay.
How do you feel about Gargantua?
I have never cast it. I think it is mostly a diplomatic seal for Elysian colors.
Fair.
But if you get there and you get to cast it, I mean that thing is probably always going to be, even just a 5/5 killer is pretty good.
Right.
But it might even be bigger than that, and that's amazing. I think as long as you remember to get ramp, which is not too hard if you're in time, I think it's worth going for. Otherwise, the pick to me, given that we're going to be committing to Elysian at this point, I would say Honeypot is also very good. But I think the Gargantuan's spicy. What do you think?
I haven't played with Honeypot much, or if I have, I feel like I haven't had the relic synergies for it. So maybe that's been the problem when I've tried it. Gargantua, I like a little bit more than Honeypot, I think. Probably just because of the pledge keyword. Like, I love killer. I love big killer. Like, it's just a huge tempo play for you. But also, if I can just play it as a power on the first turn and be good with that, I'm probably not that upset.
I agree. So I would take the Gargantuan.
Is there anything else in this pack that we should be looking at, or things that we should say, oh, this is interesting, is this potentially a signal?
It is interesting that we see a Forge Master here, but again, I think there's a good chance that there was a better like fire or otherwise shadow card or something else in there that made somebody not pick the Forge Master.
Yeah.
Again, the fact that the Great Valley Smuggler is here tells me that person is probably not in time and definitely not in Primal, because we also saw like the Wind Cloak and some other strong Primal cards before. So I don't think it's worth going into the Forge Master again.
Right.
Also because we're just not going to be in the type of deck that's going to use it, even though we have one. There's no way we're going to have Renowned stuff. The Resilient Wagoneer is an okay Argenport card, so I could see somebody picking a stronger Justice or Shadow or otherwise card. And then I also just think that Broken Wing Brawler is just filler at best. It's like not terrible, but it's filler. Oblivabot is generally considered to be pretty bad. Endure is pretty bad. Rumbling Contraption is pretty bad. So there's just a lot of bad cards in here, and the good cards are in our colors that aren't Forge Master. So I bet they picked the other non-Forge Master good card that's in their colors and passed us these other Elysian things.
Yeah, I'm wondering if things like Barrel Through or Conflagrate or things like that got picked, basically. And then the rare, obviously. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Gargantua here over Honeypot.
All right, let's do it.
Hey!
Oh, there's one choice. It's right there.
Yep, Parry's amazing.
Yeah. Be Gone is also a good spell, but Parry is just Blowout City. It's so good. Ooh, there are 2 very good picks right there. If we think, really, this is a question of whether we. Well, there's 3.
I could have 2 smugglers.
We could have 2 smugglers. If we want to commit to Instinct, or Genev, we could take the Display of Instinct.
Right.
The safest pick among all these is the Sirocco Glider, but I would never do that over these two spicier picks here.
Yeah.
I don't actually know which one I like more. I actually think both of them are really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, Display of Instinct, I feel like you pretty much use it for only one mode, and that's the first mode of dealing 4 damage.
Yeah.
And then the possibilities are quote-unquote endless with the Dune Smuggler, but I kind of want to take it.
I say go for it. I can't hate either pick.
I only
think
have
they're
one.
both-
I'm taking it.
All right.
I'm rare drafting. We're rare drafting.
Oh, actually, I think we're actually going into Instinct now, even though we just picked it.
Yes, these and
and those two. Yeah,
those are great too. I prefer Surveiller over Court Mage, just for the more aggressive stat line. But yeah, we're just picking Display of Instinct.
Yeah, I actually value the Court Mage a little bit higher. I like the defensive body a little bit more, especially with one. There's just a lot of strangers in this format, and this just eats strangers. And the Court Mage also is I think better for most primal strategies that tend to be flyer based in this format. But I do like the Surveiller a lot as well. Like I say I like the Court Mage more, I'm only talking like, just a smidge better.
Maybe this is like more aggressive Renown deck, and this is more like passive.
Yes. I would not be happy with the Court Mage in a Renown deck. So, but I would be happy with Display in this deck. Oh, and we see a Fireheart Recruit and a Mighty Strikes. They're both really good. The Strikes is just the best.
Yeah, the Strikes is so good.
Yeah, but Fireheart Recruit is like only a few notches down, and I would be very happy to take that if we didn't already have.
These picks have been crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what is being drafted ahead of us.
Okay, I say that, and then we get this pick, so punished.
All of these are pretty bad.
I guess I'll take the most Shift Stone.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna take any of them. Happily take the Court Mage, in my opinion.
Ooh,
that's a great pick. Yeah, take the Sauropod. Intimacy is a okay removal spell. It's not my favorite, but
yeah, I just hate giving my opponent flyers. It's awkward.
I agree. This pack is a couple of really good picks. I think probably just the best pick would be Elysian Stranger. But
it makes me
Ruination
sad,
Sledge,
so.
Ruination Sledge, Jump Kick, and if we're feeling really, really spicy, Monolith Guardian. But I don't think those are better. I think it's mostly between those bottom two, the Stranger and the Sledge.
Yeah, there's been a couple of times I've picked Monolith Guardian, like hoping, like, oh, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get the relic strategies this time, and I'm gonna mirror image that guy, and he's gonna be really good. And then I'm like, oh crap, I only ended up with 2 relics. I'm not playing that card. So yeah, I think it's much safer to just pick Elysian Stranger here. Good fixing. You need 2 drops. And while I would love to pick Ruination Sledge, I think we're probably going to end up with Fire being our splash. At least that's the way it looks at the moment. So that's why I'm leaning this way.
Yep. Take that Stranger and look away. Once again, another Stranger. But Dragon Breath is, I would say, premium removal in this format.
Yeah, I agree too.
Not only does it hit a lot of things, it also activates Renown, which we might still have a couple of Renown units in our deck. So I might almost lean towards the Dragon Breath over the Stranger, even though the Stranger is prime fixing.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards Dragon Breath too. I do like the Stranger, but I think I'm going to pick Dragon Breath.
I think so. I think it's a good pick.
Another Stranger.
Okay, I like the Stranger. Good Justice cards. It's weird. I think we might be fighting a little bit over one color this pack. Hopefully not too much. But let's take that Stranger.
Yeah, we just get all primal cards here. How do you feel about Granite Ring?
I always struggle to find room for it in my deck, and then every time I draw it, I'm usually pretty happy about it. You have to just remember it's more like equipment. It's not a do-nothing card. It's a consistent, reusable equipment effect. I think we're likely to have some relics or like some Relics Matter stuff, such as Honeypot. And Granite Ring, I think, is a very fine card to pick to make sure our Honeypot is always useful, and it helps us push through. It just does a lot of nice things. That Overwhelm is not to be understated, especially when how a lot of board stalls can build up in this format versus some of the go wide strategies.
Do you think it's better than Ice Bow for like the potential deadly combos you can get in here?
That's the real question, and I don't know the answer to that. What time deadly units are we likely to see?
Scorpion,
Scorpion,
Twin Fang Cobra.
Lumen Defender, I
Oh,
believe,
yep,
is in these
yeah,
packs.
Lumen
Yeah,
Defender, yeah.
I still, I do like ISPO a lot, and it hits so many things. But I think I value the ring just slightly higher. But I wouldn't blame you if you chose the ISPO. Let me put it that way. I think both are fine picks. I also wouldn't even blame you if you chose the Predator's Instinct, but I think it's not as strong as those first two.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because I saw Predator's Instinct as well. I mean, if we pick Icepo, we're really leaning into this ping potential strategy that we have because we have Dragon Breath, we have Parry, we have Icepo. So that's like high synergy to pick a deadly guy.
Yeah.
Granite Ring is like good late game finisher basically. I think I'm gonna lean into the Icepo. I might
Okay.
regret it, but I think I'm gonna pick Icepo here.
I don't think you can ever fully regret it. ISPO is just a good card.
There are plenty of X ones. Like if you're playing against the Empower deck, like oh my gosh, Icepo gets such good value. Like taking
Yeah.
out
Hmm.
the Bleak Basin Guide or Resolute Monk.
Yeah. No, that's very true.
So
In
I think
this,
there's lots of good ping effects. Welding
yeah,
Torch, right?
I agree. Yeah, it's the Torch or the Banner. I like the Torch a little bit more. It's just such a high-powered card.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hopefully we can pick up some Beach Boys and some other ramp, and then consistently hit it with Spellcraft and just blow people out.
Yes, that sounds amazing. Mm,
Ooh, I have to hand it to Granite Acolyte there. I think
yeah.
that card's just good. Though we are getting a little chunky on 3 drops, I think it's fine. Just because it activates Renown
Mm-hmm.
and it's just otherwise a high value card.
Yep, I agree. Great for flyers.
Yes. Yeah.
Speaking of flyers,
Speaking of flyers, I don't know if we want 2 ISPOs, especially if we don't actually pan out with.
right, with any deadly guys.
Yeah. I think it's not a great pick, but the Tower Top Patrol is fine. Just at the very least, it buys us time, which we might need in our deck.
Yeah, and it can even finish games, like, albeit very slowly, but, you put the welding torch on it, you put the ice bow on it, doubles the
Yeah,
clock, whatever.
yeah.
I think it's totally reasonable pick. I mean, the other thing to think about is it looks like we're turning into more base
Oh, this is
Skycrag.
Skycrag. I was actually going to say that, and that is an interesting question. The the thing I worry about is we haven't really been able to see a ton of excellent aggressive units.
Hmm.
So if we were to go Skycrag, I actually think the pick would be the Pyre Adept at that point.
Right.
And we have to kind of think here. Do we want to be an aggressive Skycrag deck that maybe splashes time to use really the instinct and then maybe like the smuggler are both fine?
Right.
Or do we want to try and go for a bigger deck? And I don't know. Actually you might be right. We actually might just be in more an aggressive deck at this point.
Yeah, it kind of seems that way. I mean, blowing people out with parry, mighty strikes to finish games, just
Yeah.
aggressively using display of instinct. And I mean, the only drop we have, like, we just play Welding Torch on 4, don't even get the value of Torch, and just say Gargantua is gone.
Yeah.
Probably not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Maybe we just take that adept.
All right, I'm going to take a dip.
Okay. I actually don't hate heavy axe in this format.
Really?
It's you're not excited about it, but if you need renown, like
yeah,
worst things you can do than a 1 cost renown effect.
we only have one renown guy at the moment. I see what you're saying, especially if we're going to be this aggressive deck. Like Ace, you don't want that often.
My rule of thumb is always cut aerial ace if you can. I actually just actively hate that card. I think this format does have a lot smaller units than I think formats in the past, but I'm just always so unhappy when I play a 2/3 flying for 5. I don't care about the Aegis. It just sits there and
can't get through.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is there any talk to Topaz Drake as far as top end finisher?
It's a fine top end finisher, but it's not. I usually will cut it. I guess I don't know. How do you feel about it? I'm usually not a fan of it.
I think it's fine. Like it's not anything great, but it gets the job done usually.
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
I'm interested in going this more aggressive route. Take the heavy axe, see if we can get more renowned guys in pack 4. Because right now, the only renowned dude we have is Oni Forge Master, but that's not the worst thing in the world either. You know,
No.
and even just putting Heavy Axe on Pyrodept on turn 3 and just hitting him for 5, like, it's kind of crazy. You just
Yeah.
built yourself a Surveiller on turn 3, so why not? All right,
Nothing here.
garbage.
Yep. More garbage.
Mm-hmm. Garbage.
And more garbage. And more garbage. Okay.
Oh.
Well, this is nice feature humility. But there's another
JJ
legendary in the
stick.
pack. Yeah, that one. That's
All right. Hello. Yeah, there's not even anything worth talking about here.
No, it's the changey stick and run. Oh, I like that outlaw.
That's
That
sweet.
is a great pick. I like the sledge here. Gets
Yes,
to diversify our threats a little, our weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got one torch, so I would take the sledge after that. Yep.
Did you take Hoof Slash over Violent Gust?
That's
3-cost trick is kind of awkward.
Yeah, they're both about the same in my mind. I think we only have one trick though. So no, we have two tricks. We do have parry, but I think we're more likely to want to play Hoof Slash than Violent
Right.
Gust. Like it's a bad trick, but it's still a trick, and it's not even terrible, all things considered. It's just very average. But that 4 power, especially with quick draw units, does matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're
And
not wrong
flyers.
about that.
So I would take it. Hope to cut it, but oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. They're not in primal.
In either direction.
Nope.
Stormcaller?
It's Stormcaller or Crowd Favorite. I don't typically play Crowd Favorite, but every time it's played against me, it's always really good.
Yeah, we do have
two sticks. So
two
that's
sticks, Heavy Axe, Ruination Sledge.
I think we take the favorite, actually. I think we take the favorite.
Yeah.
Stormcaller is just a little too slow, I think, for what we're doing.
Yeah, if we had... Well, no, never mind. Too cute. Anyway, Crowd Favorite it is. So, do we just take a one-color Stranger?
I think the Stranger, yeah. And another Stranger. Yep, 2-color Stranger, perfect.
Flash Freeze.
Flash Freeze. Flash Freeze is my favorite card in draft. I'm
really?
not even
Your
kidding.
Favorite?
The blowouts that you can make with it, because if you flash freeze something in the middle of combat, like let's say they double block with a unit and you flash freeze one and then stun just another thing, they lose. Yeah, it just takes them out of combat. It's bananas. Like flash freeze is so good. It's like it's insane. Take it, and it's
oh, yeah,
so
I
undervalued.
Love the card. I know it's good. Our fixing is amazing right now. This is great.
It's pretty good. I actually almost would take the Young Gun over the Barkeep's Friend. Like it's a quick draw. 1-drops do matter a lot in this format, I feel, especially for aggro decks. I know it's pretty low value.
I mean, it is really like we do have Heavy Axe. We have Forge Master to give us another Heavy Axe. We have Ruination Sledge. So I see what you're saying, and I'll do it. Why not?
Okay. Stranger again.
Yeah.
It's too bad there's no buff strangers in this format. Give all your strangers whatever, Oh, it's hard to pass a Vanguard, but the Huntsmaster is a very good primal 2-drop.
Yeah,
it's very good. I don't think we can afford to play that, but maybe we can. I mean, we do have a lot of fixing.
We have 5 time sources just in strangers. I think I'm going to take it.
Okay.
This card is good because you slap a weapon on it, you kill something, and you're left with a bigger unit. Like, it's not bad. But, I'm taking Vanguard.
It's greedy, but I think we should go for it. And it is Pledge at the very worst. That's the other thing. We don't have enough relics for this. I've always wanted to cast a Bizarre Stampede.
But we do have Oni Forge Master.
I think we just have to take another one.
Yeah.
It's just good. The Wind Cloak is a close second, but I think we'll be okay. I just like Forge Master. It's just great. Just so good.
I got blown out by Unmoored Valkyrie. Turn 4 kill.
That card is very good. I think it's actually one of the best Justice Commons, Unmoored Valkyrie. I like the Huntmaster, I like the Firemane, and I like the Yeti a lot.
Yeah.
And the Bannerman. Mischief Yeti I'm a big fan of. I think, we're not as hot. We have a lot of 2-drops, but Coastal Huntsman is not really a 2-drop. He's more like a combo-y, 3 or 4-drop.
Mm-hmm.
But we also do have really good removal, so it might actually be better just to take the Firemane or the Mischief Yeti. What do you think?
I'm leaning towards Mischief Yeti, I think, just for the the higher aggression, getting the snowball, and just going to town.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm really excited about this
This is looking
deck.
good.
I'm going to be
We
upset if it doesn't do well.
we unfortunately don't have a ton of relics to make a Cantus Outrider great.
Right.
In fact,
Do
I don't think we have
any?
any relics. I don't think we picked a single one. And as a 3/3 flyer for 6, I'm not ecstatic about it, though. It does have Pledge.
Is there any world where we pick Crystal Dirk?
I don't hate it. Like, in a world where you have Renown in a format, I think just almost any equipment is worth considering. I don't think we should. I think we have really, 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 really good equipment. So, if anything, I do think we take the Outrider. Spitfire is not worth taking.
Right.
And I don't think we want Be Gone. I think we are still on the time is our splash thing. But, well, yeah.
I mean, we probably have enough fixing to play it.
I mean, if we're playing Moonstone Vanguard, we have enough. We in theory have enough fixing for Be Gone.
That is true.
So I would say that's your call. I'm not entirely sure what I would pick here, but I think both are fine.
Yeah, let's go with Be Gone. The
Let's
tempo of it is good.
And one day I will build a control deck with Spitfire. Ooh, yeah, Frostweave is very good.
Yeah, just better than everything else, right?
I think so. What's our unit count? I think we have like way too many 2-drops, but just for the sake of it, let's count units.
18.
Okay, we're pretty good on units.
With Moon,
we also should be considering a little bit more markets. I guess we didn't really have very many good picks for market cards.
We could put Ebon Dune Smuggler in there. Because we do have the Xenon Strangers.
Yeah, that's oh man. Okay, let's take the Frostweave. I think that's just the best pick.
Yeah.
Cartographer is a good card, but we don't want it here, and we don't have the relics or honeypot. So
yeah.
Token of Knowledge is fine, just because it's 2 card fixing for us.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I think that's...
Or if you need the cargo, I won't hate you if you rare draft it.
Nope, got 4.
Okay. Ooh.
Hustle Teriax.
So we're already committed to the dual primal with Moonstone Vanguard. Do we just double down and get the Teriax? Because that's insane.
I mean, we're not taking anything else here. Like, are we playing Iron Hook? I don't think so.
A true aggro player picks the Iron Hook, but we'll take the Teriax because we're here to win.
I mean, look at this. We're getting all the fixing in the world we need for this.
Yeah.
We could take Frost Talisman, but I think...
Frost Talisman is pretty good, but I think the Token of Knowledge is just better. We just want as much fixing as we can get for our very greedy deck here.
Oh my gosh.
And the third one. Entomancy, yeah. I think we take the Entomancy, it'll put it in the market.
It'll be in the market, yeah.
Pack Beast, I guess. I don't think we're going to play it, but...
Yeah.
And Token. Okay. We have a deck.
And Token of Vision can go in the market.
Oh my god, that's so funny. That's right. But it ended up more Skycrag than we thought, and a little bit less Elysian. Still, the Teriax that late it's crazy. That's crazy. I think Elysian is probably one of the better.
Do you think I put Be Gone in the market?
I think that's probably better in the market. Yep. Because that way we're not stuck with it being clunky in our hand, but we get the potential to, like, we have the time influence already if we're playing it, because that means we got it out. We can put Gale Prowler on the market if we need a market unit.
Yeah, true. All right, we'll finish the market after. Let's look through this.
We could probably cut 1 to 2 units.
Mm-hmm.
We're very high on our 2-drops, which is good for being aggressive.
Yeah.
I think our biggest challenge is going to be to make sure we can get the reach we need to finish the game, because we're always going to have a pretty aggressive start.
Yeah, with 2 changey sticks, I'm not worried about it too much.
Yeah, I do think we have it covered. I was just saying, in theory, that's what's most important. But
yeah, I think cutting Gale Prowler... Like, Gale Prowler and Young Gun are, like, the 2 I'm looking at.
I like Young Gun more than I like Gale Prowler.
Yeah.
Gale Prowler is a sad card. Especially with, like, half of our non-units being weapons as opposed to spells.
Right. But there are 4 which are spellcraft, so...
Yes, that's true. We need... Like, ideally, we're looking at 17, 18 power. We have... Court Mage is the pledge that we're going to be happy to pledge, and then 2 other cards we're not as happy to pledge, the Teriax and the Moon Guard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think 17 power for this deck.
Yeah.
I wonder if you... Is it bad to cut the heavy axe?
We could do it. We ended up with a lot of really great weapons, so we could cut the axe.
And then I'm looking at something probably like hoof slash.
Yeah, probably hoof slash. Yeah. We could potentially put one of either the Frostweave or Flash Freeze in the market, just so that we save space.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Both are very good.
Do you think Dragon Breath is too slow for as aggressive as we want to be? And like that should go in the market?
I think that's probably correct. I think that's probably yeah. It's not. We don't hate it, but it is. Most of the units,
it's stopping us from hitting them in the face.
Yeah, I think both our average and our median attack stat in this deck is 2, which means it's usually going to be deal 2 damage and then maybe get a range off of it.
Right.
And that makes me not love it.
Especially because we only have 3 renowned guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely better in like the Elysian decks and other bigger things than it is in our aggro deck. Still a fantastic removal, but slower.
Let's throw that in the market, and then Gale Prowler probably.
Probably Gale Prowler, yeah. Or you want to be crazy and put that Smuggler in there, and we'll just.
Oh yeah, I forgot about it already.
I mean,
probably
but then
not. I don't have a second card I would go get for it, so.
I don't think it's worth it, but it's funny. We could just play 17 power here.
Oh.
I'm not totally against that. I think when you have Pledge in the format, and we're also very aggressively inclined, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I tend to like 17 is kind of like my base starting spot for most decks, and I'd say this deck is aggressive enough that I'm happy to be at 17 power.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
I think 18 I'm usually playing if I have like the Beach Boys, as you like to call them, and Pillar of Amar.
Pillar of Amar. Oh yeah, that's almost like, but it's just because at that point every power is just like a 5/5.
Yeah, it's crazy. What?
So yeah, I just like adding power here. I think that's fine. Tokens. Okay, we are heaviest on fire and primal. Let's see. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fire influence required or on our cards. The crowd favorite might be a double fire, actually. Nope, single fire, so that's 10. And then our primal, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I kind of count by individual things. 7, 8, 9, and then spells 10, 11, 12. Oh, I might not have counted the Mighty Strikes.
Like 14, I think.
Yeah, 14. Okay. So we're slightly higher on Primal, but we also do have 3 Primal Fixing Strangers. So I think we should jump our fire count to 7. And I was going to say, I would cut a Time Sigil because we have 5 strangers.
5. Oh. We have 10 time sources.
We might not even play any Time Sigils, actually. We might just entirely... Well, no, we do have the double. Let's do 1. I think 1 time is fine. And then the tokens can be either.
Where did the add power button go? That's weird.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, because now you have 9 times.
9 times.
That's insane.
And we have, and then we have 8, 9, 10, 11 primal.
Yep.
And then still only 8 fire, actually. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, maybe we do just cut that time sigil and just rely on the tokens. Because, I mean, we really want to make sure we hit that.
Right.
That
and we don't
fire.
need to hit the time. Like, we don't need the undepleted time.
Yeah.
Like, we're pretty likely to hit one of these strangers before we're even going to play a time card, you know? Like, we don't have a time card till 3, double on 5, but...
Yeah. I say we turn the time sigil into a fire sigil. I think we were right.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Let's do it. Let's fire this. I think this is good.
Just want to close out the drafting and deck building portion of Drafting with Masters with Paradox by saying thanks for watching. Next, we'll get into the games portion of the episode to see how the deck actually performs.